Welcome to another episode of Bringing Down the Grindhouse, a podcast where we discuss horror in media. And tonight, dodge that projectile vomit and don't slip on those intestines as we dive into Braindead,
A.K.A. Dead Alive.
a.k.a. Dead Alive.
Although, I guess it depends on the country.
Yeah, it does.
It's just whatever.
It does. Well, I'm Mitch.
I'm Mur.
And I'm Jonathan. And tonight, it's just us three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking you guys back to before Justine podcast.
Yeah. So this movie is fucking bananas.
It's great. It's easily one of like the funnest movies you can watch because it's so fucking ridiculous. And there's just so much blood.
It's incredible. It's so this movie you might have to take like a 30-minute break.
Don't eat while you watch it. I'll tell you that much. Don't eat.
I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while watching this, and I was very happy the whole time.
If we want to get into a little bit of info,
I don't know. How are you just gonna start like that?
I'm just letting you know that Braindead is called Dead Alive in America only. Everywhere else, it's called Braindead for some reason.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't think the marketing would work with that name. They do weird shit like that.
The funniest thing about that is because it was filmed in New Zealand and produced by like New Zealand Film Institute.
If you couldn't tell while watching it. With all the fucking accents.
They almost gave it a rated 15 fucking viewing audience to it because the blood is so overdone. They're just like, there's no way we can take
like
this
the
serious.
NC-17 shit?
Yeah, they're about to make it for 15-year-olds and up. But then they had to do to an 18-year-old audience, but like they were about to make it 15 up because it was so dumb.
I always forget that there's age restrictions on movies still, like because it only affects you if you're under 18. So it's just like, oh, there's restrictions on movies.
Us being adults has definitely warped our perception.
Yeah, I was like,
world.
what the fuck? I was like, just sneak into the movie anyway.
But this movie was directed by Peter Jackson.
Yeah, which is nuts because this is nothing like anything else he's ever made. But I think one of his first films he ever made?
Yeah. He had bad taste prior to this, which is fucking hilarious.
He was just in the Grindhouse making fucking horror films like this. It's great.
I mean, the only other movie I know that he made that might be earlier than Braindead is like Meet the Feebles, which I talked about a little bit with you guys earlier.
Was Peter Jackson in this movie? Like, was he a cameo?
That's a good question.
I don't know if I missed him.
I actually don't know if he actually
because he's really good with that. But I'm going to see if he was maybe.
Yeah. We're talking about Braindead from 1992, by the way.
Yes.
It was filmed, it was funded by the New Zealand Film Institute, which was fucking hilarious.
That's awesome that they fucking did that.
Meet the Feebles came out in '89 in New Zealand.
Interesting.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, so let's see. He did The Valley, 1976, Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Wurzel Gumridge, Down Under. Well, he was part of that. Valley of the Stereos, and then he did Braindead. Then it was Heavenly Creatures, and it took a while, maybe like 3 movies until he got to The Lord of the Rings.
And goddamn, did he do The Lord of the Rings?
Fucking hit it out of the park with Lord of the Rings, and then after that, they were like, you know what? You do a bunch of movies.
Here's the monkey.
Honestly, here's Kong. Fuck it up.
Hey, also there's this new character on the rise, Jack Black. You might have heard of him. He was in Biodome. I'm just kidding.
Holy shit, he was in Biodome.
Yeah.
He's also in Mars Attacks.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Gets
Wait,
capped really fucking quick.
Yeah. He dies really early, but yeah.
Actually, everybody that dies.
I need to go rewatch that again. Shit.
Yeah.
Why? We should do that one too. Shit.
Honestly, that's a good one.
That's a good movie. I love it.
And we should talk about the comics from back in the day too. Like because Top did like a run of cards, and you can get the book that has all the artwork from it.
I'm about to go see if I can find those for collectibles because that's dope.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah, we digress.
God, you fucking nerds! Stop talking about your Top collectible cards.
Yeah, right. Joke.
Hey, they're expensive.
One of my
are they Magic the Gathering expensive though?
That's all I mean. Speaking of expensive stuff, this movie was $3 million. Not expensive really, but
$3 million.
The budget was $3 million.
I feel like that's a good amount for a movie like this.
Yeah, but
I'm kind of surprised actually. I feel like it should have looked nicer, but whatever.
It bombed at the box office.
Yeah, people hated this movie.
It was like 250,000.
Same with Meet the Feebles too. It bombed.
Yeah.
It was like 750K, and it only made like 80K. How does Peter Jackson go from making flops to making like Oscar-winning.
Hey, he learned his lesson.
Yeah, right. He learned everything that didn't work.
He was
I
like,
guess.
he's like, people are not vibing with this Grindhouse stuff. I need money.
I partially think that he didn't give a fuck if
He
it
also-
made any money
he
or
also did
not.
not care.
I think he was just like, hell yeah, let's.
He must have had a
sprinkle
lot of
everywhere.
fun making this film.
Yeah.
And it shows with like the cast because they're all bombastic in their own stupid ways.
They are the most ridiculous people, and each voice is super unique. That they could all be voice actors, basically. Even on top of the New Zealand accent, you're just like, why do they sound like that? All of the fucking dudes who are in there, you're like, just the weirdest voices.
Yeah, so I was hitting the ball the other day. I fight for the Lord.
Not to mention the fucking priest who's a martial arts master.
Mitch, you gotta do it.
Does he have
What?
like holy fucking what is it? What's the buff that you get in Diablo?
I have no
The
idea
fucking
what the
monk.
buff is.
The monk gets it. It's like
Monk.
holy divine damage or something like
Well,
that.
the joke I heard was this. When you take 1 level in cleric and 19 levels in monk.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you were just like, I was a devout.
Yeah.
Way up the fist.
Mitch, I want to hear your attempt to do his spiel.
Well, all right. So he enters the scene when our local punk rock kid is being attacked by zombies.
Right.
He enters the scene. The devil is amongst us. and then he leaps off and starts. Like, it's time. He's like, hold up, lad. It's time for some divine intervention. He
With
leaps
his
off.
like crooked speaking mouth that he only
Yeah.
speaks out of one side of his mouth. It's great.
Divine intervention.
And then he starts fucking these zombies up. And what's
Yeah.
the best line? Honestly, I think the best Peter Jackson line of all time.
This is like, I kick ass for the Lord.
Like starts like fucking backflipping, kicking their head over and over again. He like tears a dude's arm off and then starts beating
Fucking
him with it.
great. This went to a completely different movie for like 5 minutes, and you're like, oh, this is not what I was watching 10 minutes ago.
I mean, I think that a lot of these scenes are just Peter Jackson showing what he's capable of doing.
yeah, I feel that way.
Because he
too.
was like, here's like a little scene that shows that I can make stuff that's kind of like kung fu movies. Because they did like the camera speed up and everything too during all that. You can tell.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
totally.
So he was like trying to like. It seems like he was showcasing what he's capable of.
That's
sort of
true.
thing.
Actually, I would agree.
Rather than
feel-
trying
yeah.
to make something that hits hard, he was like, "This is for my portfolio."
Yeah. What is it? 5 gallons of blood per minute?
Yeah,
Well,
let's go.
That was the thing. It was considered the bloodiest movie at the time ever made, at a
Trying to break
record
world records.
of 300 liters of blood,
Oh,
fake
Jesus.
blood. And then
Is that,
During
like, is
the-
that like a Guinness World Record or?
it was like the holder for it. at the
Oh
time.
wow! I wonder who the fuck took them out then.
And then I
I feel like
This
it's
was-
Carrie.
we thought, okay, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Remember, the only one prior that we thought about was Reanimator. That hit it.
True, actually.
And then this came out a couple years later, and they
Yeah.
fucking topped it. Because I remember Reanimator was like 180
Reanimator
liters.
was more about the like ooze though.
Yeah.
The like green whatever the fuck he was making.
The
Tar man.
Yeah. And then this movie was just like straight up blood, but there was also like bodily fluids of every kind.
there's like the pudding scene.
Oh god.
Oh, the custard.
Ugh.
Oh, I love custard. I was like, this is gross.
Oh, just eats.
You're fucking gross. Why did she squirt her shit into his custard?
I don't even
like,
fucking know, man. It was wild.
But like you were saying, during the lawnmower scene, there was the lawnmower scene is fucking epic.
Which is actually like you could say that and people would know what you're talking about for this movie.
It's the iconic scene from this movie.
If it's not that one, it's literally the baby getting blended. That's really all you're waiting for.
But they had a fucking pump that would shoot 5 gallons of blood per second.
Oh, wow.
So like
Wait, what?
5 gallons per second.
How is that even possible?
that's
They were
wild.
fucking spurting it out, man. Just dun dun, like a fucking gun, basically. Dun 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 dun. You know.
Yeah, I wonder how hard it was for the actors to keep acting while getting fucking pummeled with all this stuff. And then, like, at the end of the scene, they're like, okay, we're going to do it again. And they're like, how?
I got to get completely clean.
Yeah, and now we're going to do it again?
I
Like,
didn't believe your facial expressions right there. I'm Peter fucking Jackson. Sit down.
what if they
sir.
had just, like, a stall on the side where they
hose 'em
hose
off.
them off?
Hose them off real quick, load up the blood again. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
got it.
that water looks like sweat.
Dude.
Well, we have to give the award for like the gore effects to Richard
Right.
Taylor.
Yeah.
So he was the one that would help on set with all the gore, basically made
Nice.
all this shit available to happen. And then Richard Taylor would then help Peter Jackson in other movies. He did the miniatures in the city for King Kong. He did so much CGI work in Lord of the Rings. And come to find out, he also helped on District 9 and fucking Blade Runner 2049. So, like, this guy, it's so funny to me because he is an Oscar-winning fucking person for visual effects.
Right.
And Braindead is on his fucking resume.
That's got to be such, like, he's probably very proud of that, honestly.
Right.
He's got to be.
Because Lord of the Rings got so many fucking Oscars. I mean, it's too hard to fucking count. And the fact that Braindead was on his resume when he was going up there against all these bigger things is super sick.
I would love to, like, send a resume to someone. And it's got those two names right next to each other. Also, do they even send resumes at that level? Like, or are they just calling up their friend? They're like, hey, I want to make this cool movie. And then they just go and make that fucking movie. They don't even, like, send a resume to anybody.
Yeah, I got a guy.
Yeah.
His name is Richard Taylor.
It's like, yeah, actually, I have a whole fucking team. Let's go. And they're just
You free Saturday?
hanging out in his fucking house. Like, yeah, let's do it. Got it. And then goes and films this movie.
This movie is interesting because it starts really weird with, like, them on Skull Island stealing a Sumatran fucking spider monkey.
That was ridiculous because the dude's like, no, like, I'm the fucking business. You see, this is a fucking permit, and pulls out a machine gun, and you're just like, bro, what the fuck? Why are you scaring all the locals? Like
they want him to leave his island. He's like, you see this? This allows me to do whatever the fuck I want.
So fucked up. Oh my god.
But he gets fucking capped though.
He does though.
Because they figure out that the spider monkey bit him.
Dude gets all of his limbs cut off.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, he's cursed there. Oh, he's cursed there.
Yeah,
oh, his
literally.
face is also cursed. The whole head needs to come
And they
off.
don't do the cutaway where, like, they bring down the knife and then you cut away and cut back. Like, you actually got to see it hit something.
Full-on amputation going
Yeah, they're
on.
like, here's
It's
some, like,
glorious.
salami we threw together for this scene.
Hell yeah.
And just
That's
fucking
always my favorite when you could see like the fake hand,
Yeah.
like not even changed. Like maybe the shot has changed, but you see the fake hand there. It's so good.
it cuts to something else. It's like moved. It's like flipped over or some shit. They do that all the time. But yeah, that was great. And then I loved all the dudes who were like selling the parts, basically, who were just like, thanks for the money. You guys are fucked. But they don't tell anybody, and they just run back like, I got some fucking money for this. And they're like pointing at the money. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, because they're sending it by air to the fucking New Zealand Zoo, which is also, there is a love story in this. It's kind of a romance.
It's weird as hell, but yeah.
Oh yeah, there is a romance.
Yeah,
You know,
of all the
but-
things in the film.
But I feel like Shaun of the Dead ripped off this movie.
Very hard. Yeah.
Especially the end of Shaun of the Dead, because it's just kind of him and his zombie friend hanging out.
Right.
And I think that the beginning of this movie, when they all start kind of turning, and he brings all of the family members into one house and has them kind of just hang out and try to be normal. Like the nurse's head is constantly falling off. And then like they're like the horny priest and the other zombies start making a baby.
It's just I don't even know. I love when the dudes show up and they're like, yeah, it's a fucking necrophiliac, and they're like making fun of him for it and like beating him. It's just like, what the fuck?
You're not gonna call the cops?
Yeah, that was great.
You're like,
You're just
son,
gonna
I don't.
beat him up? All right.
Son, I don't know what weird shit you're into, but it has to stay down there.
Yeah, we have to mention the fact that there's a fucking zombie baby that gets made in this movie. And
That's
you're just
my
like,
point
what,
of view.
What the fuck is
I've never
happening?
seen zombies fornicate on screen.
I've never seen zombies.
You probably
fuck
never
either,
will
you know?
either. Like, you'll probably never see anything.
We
I
just
can't think of
did.
another movie. Actually, no, wait. Dawn of the Dead has the zombie baby.
Has a zombie baby, but does it have the zombies fucking on screen?
No, it does not.
Does it have
This
a zombie?
movie has
does-
zombies fucking on
You're like,
screen.
excuse you.
Not just them on screen, fucking on screen.
Terrible.
Like,
Fucking weird.
wild shit.
But yeah, like I think the main chick's name, her name's Paquita. She's like destined to fall in love with like the next person she sees, basically, is what her grandma tells her.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's Lionel, this guy who is just like a mama's boy to the fucking core.
Holy shit, dude. And he's just sweating the whole movie. He's just
Yeah,
in
he
a
is
fucking
always
cold
sweaty.
sweat the whole movie.
Always
You're just
sweaty.
like, is this guy ever going to recover? And he does not.
Is Braindead one of the? It's just the bloodiest movie, not the sweatiest movie.
No, we talked about we talked about this before.
The
What's the
sweatiest movie?
Yeah, we
Like
decided on
Aliens?
Aliens might be
is pretty
the
damn
sweatiest
sweaty.
movie.
It's a really sweaty
And
movie.
I think it's because they were legitimately like sweating on set because they did not have any ventilation. But I can't think. No, Rocky. We talked about how Rocky was the
is
sweatiest
really
movie.
Sweaty. That's a really
He's so
sweaty
sweaty that when
movie.
he gets punched in the face, you see the sweat go off.
Yeah, so much sweat
She was
in
like,
that movie.
well, they probably sprayed him with something, but still, that might be one of the sweatiest movies. I can't think of any others.
I haven't seen Cool Hand Luke, but according to Cheers, that is one of them.
Oh, that's right. That's where the conversation comes
from. Really,
from.
really fucking exactly.
Yes.
But yes, no, he is pretty sweaty though for sure. He's always very nervous.
Yeah.
He's very attached to his mom, like so much to the fact that when she becomes a zombie and tries to murder him, he's like, "Let's sit down and have tea."
Right.
You know, like, it's
Just complete denial.
I thought like because he goes on a date with the chick to the zoo and the mom gets bitten by the zombie monkey and she fucking kills that claymation
love that. She does
thing.
not even fucking waste any time. She's like, I'm about to murder the shit out of this.
Yeah, and there was that weird zookeeper who was just like, oh yeah.
he's so weird.
He was one of the weirdest characters, and that's a big title in this movie because this movie's weird as fuck.
Yeah, it's like even like the shots, the colors, like how everything looks, like it's all very. I don't know.
I feel like they spent all of their
whimsical.
money on just buying blood because this is like the lowest quality movie. This is so bad. But then you're just like $3 million for the budget. Where did it all go? These aren't even like A-list actors.
Probably like rental cars. No, just kidding.
I don't fucking maybe cleanup.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of the shots from Reanimator.
Yeah,
and stuff
very
like
much.
that. Because it was just very like the movie is definitely ripping on a lot of those mid '80s movies that came out. Like it's ripping on Evil Dead. It's ripping on Reanimator. All of
It's
these
a really
films.
good parody of those films. It makes fun of
when
them.
they pump the grandma mom full of like juice and it's just juice like flying out of her.
That
I
was
like,
fucking
this is amazing.
awful.
They just stuck a hose of green shit in there and like plumped it.
There's also the fucking scene where like they throw a chick's head into the lamp and she becomes a fucking lamp.
God, yeah. You're just like, what the fuck is happening? The only thing I could think of that was worse as far as body horror goes was those Japanese films that we talked about. What is it, Mermaid in a Manhole?
And Tattoo of the Iron Man.
Oh, Tetsuo the Iron Man was pretty wild, but like
It
that
was cool. I like
the
that.
that one was
dick.
cool though.
The drill dick.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, think
never
about
mind.
that.
Never mind.
How did I forget about the drill dick?
Yeah,
Honestly, I think I
forget about
shoved it out of my mind because I didn't want to think about it anymore. But yeah, those are probably the weirdest ones as far as body horror goes. So if you're not comfortable with bodily fluids, this is not going to be a fun time.
Have you ever seen a movie where yes, zombies are trying to kill you, but guts are trying to kill you?
No.
Yeah, right? Literally just a walking inner system.
Yeah, that was
attacking
great. I
people.
love that.
It had like a face to it too,
Oh,
like
dude,
with the valves.
This movie rips on the Thing also.
Yeah,
It even
also.
has like the giant, like the big neck, like
Yeah.
the head that comes out of the body. It's totally a ripoff of the Thing.
Yeah,
Like,
they did several different. It's either. Well, let's see. Did this come before the thing?
Came after.
after 91 is
Oh,
this
okay,
movie.
yeah. Then they made fun of the thing.
92, excuse
They were
me.
just like, check out all of these things. You mentioned something earlier about how it did a good job of parodying things and being like meta compared to one of the other films we talked about when we were talking about Demons.
Mm-hmm.
How Demons was like trying to do something.
Oh, I figured that like what Demons was trying to do,
Right.
Braindead just did it better.
Yeah, they were
essentially.
more clever about the way that they wrote all of these scenes. So I think
Yeah.
it did really well. It's also really enjoyable. Don't
Yeah,
go
it's
into it with a lot of expectations.
It's just a fun movie.
Yeah, it's
dude.
a very
If
fun
you
movie
walk
to
in
watch.
expecting there to be a lot of blood and guts and for it to be gross, that's what you're getting.
And
in this
then
movie.
like shout out to the lawnmower scene for sure. I mean, just a guy like holding a lawnmower like
Oh my
strapped to
God.
his body.
Yeah.
And just doing circles.
Just running through like a mob of zombies and just ripping them up, which is a smart fucking idea, actually.
And then there's the part where the mother
Oh, Jesus.
becomes a giant claymation just
Yeah.
monster with tits and all.
Oh, God.
Just it's fucking weird.
The ending was particularly weird.
hello, dear.
And you're just like, what the
You're
fuck?
like, ew.
Oh, no.
Definitely, like I feel like they just took the body from the hippo and Meet the Feebles and just used that because that's exactly what the hippo looks like in that
They
movie.
might have. Shit.
They might have, right? It's like exactly
Actually.
the same body look and everything. Like it's the same ridiculously goofy, like cartoonish looking naked lady. Some crazy shit, dude.
I fucking loved it. I
love
don't
it
really
too.
have too many complaints for it, or really any at all, because I had seen it before, and I was like, oh, we should definitely talk about this movie because it's enjoyable. It's one of those movies you can put on and you don't have to pay attention to every single part of it, but it has a lot of weird stuff in it, including a romance, like we mentioned earlier, that somehow worked its way into this movie.
I kind of like the romance.
It was all right. It wasn't like the most awful thing I've ever seen.
I just like the idea that this woman is just like super obsessed with him, and
Right.
he's just a nervous wreck.
All the time.
And like they have
Even
to,
when he tries to like break up with her,
Yeah.
and it's like, wait, I'm sorry.
I love how the dude that she goes with just nonstop keeps talking about football.
Sports ball all the
Yeah,
time. He's
just-
like, that's all he knows.
So I went down there and I threw the pass. And
She's like, cool.
then the next scene you see him in, yeah. So then we got it and we went 2-0 and it was so good. And she's just like, please
Yeah.
leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, can you just leave? I don't want to listen to this anymore.
No one cares about your fantasy league.
I wonder if this is real. That probably happens to people all the time. Just
Right.
getting stuck in conversations about sports that they don't know anything about.
That's the true horror, Braindead.
Oh, fuck. Right, yeah. Sports
Yo-
dudes that won't shut the fuck
Yo,
up.
you watch the game? You know,
No.
I particularly like ice skating.
You know what I like to do? Join the fantasy football leagues and then just guess every single time, just random, and see how well it does. And I've done pretty well doing that, honestly.
It also pisses people off.
It gets them really fucking mad because
like-
they're like, you don't even know anything about what their fucking stats are. And I'm like, yeah, I just fucking random this shit. Give me my
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, I picked that guy. Dude, why the fuck would you pick that guy? I don't know, but it gave me money.
He's like fourth string. I know. Whatever. What does that even mean?
Okay, so favorite scene.
Fuck, that's a hard one. I don't know. I want to go obvious and say the lawnmower one, but I think I'm particularly fond of the only scene you'll ever see in this movie, which is the fucking child getting blended in a fucking blender. Because like you don't see that anywhere else, and it's the only other death by blender that I know of besides You're Next,
Yep.
where she fucking slams that thing on his
That's
head
the best fucking kill, dude.
and just like fucking blends all of his brains. So this is the only other one I can think of. The blender is underused in horror film.
And it was like prior to him ripping open a lady's head.
Also
Like
that.
straight through the middle.
Yeah, holy shit.
Just.
It was like a fucking Kit Kat. Right Twix and left Twix.
Oh my god. You hear like the sound.
It's like, you know what's crazy is like he's such a mama's boy, right? This poor guy, he's such a mama's boy.
Right.
He gets pulled right back into his mom's womb at the end of the movie, like towards the end.
Oh fuck.
And she, like,
I didn't even
pulls
think
him
about
back in, and
that.
I'm like, oh no. That's one of some little analysis. for
Dark
there.
humor.
Some psychoanalysis right there. Yeah.
So was
mama's boy. He gets pulled right back in.
so was that your favorite scene?
Absolutely not. No.
No,
My favorite
absolutely
clearly
not.
is the kung fu priest.
Yeah.
That's my favorite scene.
That's
of this
true,
movie.
actually. I should have said that.
It's too good. Like it's like all his lines are great. His accent is hilarious. Like just oh god.
Yeah, he like completely just makes a fucking person a torso. I gotta say, for my favorite scene, it has to go to the classic lawnmower scene. Everyone who loves horror knows this. And it's absolutely fucking amazing. It's incredible to see him right there. Oh, I got a plan for this. He was cutting the lawn earlier in the movie, so he just straps it to his fucking back. Carrying a full... that thing's probably heavy
yes,
as
the
shit.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, he's so... Yeah, Chekhov's lawnmower.
There you go. We found multiples of these in every
Yeah.
film we talk about.
But straight up, like, that thing has to be heavy as fuck, and he's just wielding it around like a fucking
That's
chainsaw.
true. It's gotta be kind of heavy. I wonder. I feel like the makeshift harness, though, it would do it.
Yeah.
That was legit.
Yeah, yeah. You got the
Yep.
back support. You're able to shoot 5 gallons of blood per second.
Also, the fucking theme of a priest or monk or something that can fight is a pretty strong running theme. Like we've seen it in fucking what is it? From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
The priest who starts fucking shit up at the end of it.
I'm also considering what's that other? Oh, I guess it's not really a horror movie, but Cheech Marin in Machete.
Also,
Those
that
are,
guy.
like fucking crazy.
Also, the guy from The Exorcist.
yeah.
So it's like, you know,
Constantine.
Constantine, who's also a fucking priest. I'm like, this is a running theme.
Yeah,
I didn't notice it before until we started talking
the
about all
cleric
these.
boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Be kicking ass.
All the fucking clerics.
We love you, cleric monks. We love you.
Especially when you just beat shit up with your bare hands. It's not even using any weapons.
This is time for divine intervention. Like
You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, you mean John F. Kennedy?
Oh, also.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
you
this
should just do the Nixon voice.
It's time for. I can't do it. I can't.
Just go.
Well, I had it. Well, me and Mitch were theorizing.
It's time for divine intervention.
That's it. That's the voice. That was great. I love Futurama for doing that. Just puts them in a fucking jar and always on a robot.
Me and Mitch had the theory that people in New Zealand sound like John F. Kennedy.
Or does John F. Kennedy sound like a New Zealander?
Which came? Oh, the New
Is
Zealanders
that
came
actually
first.
what it was? He was never really American. He was just
Right.
a New Zealand guy that showed up. Kennedys are all secretly New Zealanders.
Right? Like, what the fuck?
What would you guys rate these films or this film?
I'd probably give it like an 8 or a 9, just because it's super enjoyable to watch. My my only complaint is that they didn't even try with the coherence. They were just like, we're putting a bunch of random shit in here, and that's really it. But it's still fun to watch. Don't go into it expecting like top notch movie, but it is like, if you want to see some weird ass kill scenes, go watch this.
It gets a 10 from me. It's perfect.
Is this when have you given a 10 before? This might be your first 10.
I've given 10s to stuff before.
What'd you give a 10 to?
I forget.
You gave a 10 to Attack the Block.
That's right.
Yeah, 'cause
That's
Attack the
right.
Block was
You
perfect.
did give a 10 to Attack the
And
Block.
this is also perfect because it knows exactly what it's doing.
That's fair.
It is very aware of what it's doing, and I love that. And I love that it's calculated. It's forward thinking. It's gory as fuck, and it's hilarious, and that's all. And it achieved all of it.
As a film, I'll give this a 6. But as a camp fucking classic, I'll give it a fucking 10. Now, if you like Peter Jackson, you might want to check out a little movie he did called Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god! Right? Yeah. If you missed
you want to
that,
grab a couple 6 movies that he did, The Hobbit and Lord.
yeah, right. Just in case you missed who directed it, that was Peter fucking Jackson who made this movie.
Fucking Jackson.
I love the fact that he started in Grindhouse because he had bad taste in that other movie you guys were mentioning before, but this is probably this is the goriest one.
There's a lot of directors who have done that. Who have they made the shittiest fucking movies and then made a really good one, or they just kept making terrible, awful movies and just kept going, or they just make a bunch of different ones.
Or they make a really good movie and then they fucking make shit afterwards.
Oh my god, that actually happens more often.
Yeah,
People will make one really good movie and then just bomb the rest of them.
but this movie has the gore. It has zombies fucking. It has fucking priests kicking ass. It has punks becoming zombies. Like, that's super fun. It's just a fun time.
I mean, I would recommend it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's one of those movies that people will randomly mention to you, just like very often. I feel like this is one that gets brought up a lot when it comes to like these classic Grindhouse movies. So it's definitely worth the watch. But do you guys have any other final thoughts?
No,
I
think we're good. So I guess I'll close this out.
Go for it.
Thank you for listening to Bringing Down the Grindhouse, a podcast where we discuss horror and media. We have our social medias all on our stuff. You know, we got the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams at BDTGH_podcast. Then you could also check out our Patreon for $2 a month. You could support the show and recommend us a film or a piece of horror media that you would like us to review. Also, we have gotten our shirts and hats on the Teespring, and we have a hat here today, and it looks fucking good. Mitch is wearing it.
It does look good.
God, that looks hot. Yeah. And we actually did get the Pit Viper shade, so the aesthetic is like halfway there.
Yeah, we gotta take pictures.
But yeah, we got our Teespring. Go check it out. Go get a fucking shirt. And I think that's about it. So yeah.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Murr.
And I'm Jonathan. Thank you.